Well, hello again. It's Colin from Sunseeker Tarot. It's nice to be back. So today we've got a timeless reading for you, and what we'll do is that we'll just identify three piles of cards, put some crystals on them, and then you can decide which pile that you want. Okay, so let's just get a feel for these. I've already blessed the cards already, so let's just choose some for pile number one. Getting a feel for that card. And a feel for that card as well. So that's pile number one, and we'll put the amethyst crystal there. Now pile number two. Let's just see what we've got. We'll go for this top one, I think. Yeah, I'm getting a feel for that card. And then we'll go for that card as well. So for that second pile, we'll choose the selenite crystal. And then for the third pile of cards, let's just see. We'll choose that one. We'll choose that one, and we'll choose its close relative there. And we'll choose the labradorite crystal. So, whichever pile that you want, 1, 2, or 3, just keep forward in the video, and we'll see what the cards have in store for you. Okay, so here's pile number one, and this is with the amethyst crystal. So let's just see what we've got in store here. Okay, so the first card then. Okay, so we've got the Four of Wands. So wands often represent movement, and here I see that there's celebration, so it's almost like this celebration of some sort of action or movement. So it could be perhaps a new job, a new house, but certainly I can see celebration, and something that you've been looking at is going to go your way, and certainly some sort of celebration for you to be looking forward to. Second one is the Ten of Wands. So again, this kind of like identifies that it is perhaps going to be some hard work, that you might just kind of like not be totally sure what's in front of you, but in conjunction with the first card, it is going to obviously be a positive move, or whatever is going to be happening. However, it might just be a little bit of hard work. You can see there that the character is kind of like moving forward, struggling with these kind of like these stack of wands. But if you notice that the wands are actually blooming, so again, I don't think that's too much of a negative in terms of that, even though that the character is maybe struggling. And again, in the background rather, is that we can see this kind of like this grand mansion. So again, I get the impression that it's kind of like moving forward and building upon something. And then finally we have got the Four of Swords. So again, swords represent thoughts, ideas, and again, what this is kind of like saying is you've just got to make sure that you're taking some time out and not just kind of like constantly work at it, but you need to just make sure that you recharge your batteries. This is what I'm definitely seeing from here. And again, it might just be that you self-indulge in something such as kind of like meditation, or perhaps going to the spa or something like that. But I think overall we're seeing a really good positive picture here, that this calls for celebration about something that you've been working towards, that there's definitely movement, something new and joyous that's going to be ahead. Secondly, although we've got this celebration, it's not just going to be a walk in the park as such. That is going to take time and effort, but again, all those efforts aren't going to be wasted. But again, this card is just kind of like saying, just make sure that in spite of everything, that all the hard work, etc., you do need to take time to recharge your batteries. Otherwise, this might just be a little bit of a wasted effort when you look at the whole picture. So just take steed of all those three cards. So don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. And if you like the reading, then you can always book in for a more personalised one. And I hope to see you very, very soon. So here we've got the pile number 2, and this was represented with the selenite crystal. So let's just see what these cards have got in store for us. So first of all, we have got the 3 of Hearts. So again, swords represent, sorry, the 3 of Swords, I should say. So the swords represent kind of like ideas and thoughts, that kind of thing. The 3 in this instance, I think this is kind of like saying that we've got some sort of interference. So this could be, it could be kind of like a relationship, it could be something such as a job, or just something. I just see that there's a third person who's just interfering, and it's nothing to do with them. And again, we can just see these dark clouds, etc. So this third person is definitely maybe having some bad influence either on yourself or on this other party as well. So again, it's just to be kind of like be aware that there's maybe somebody out there who's not there for your greatest good, who's maybe not just being as truthful or as supporting as you maybe expect them to be. So what we've also got here, interestingly again, is that we've got the 3 of Wands. So all 3 so far. So Wands represents kind of like action, striving forward, etc. And here we kind of like seeing that the person is kind of like looking out overseas. So again, sometimes that can represent that there's maybe some travel that's going to be involved. So maybe that the person that's represented in this card is maybe overseas, the second person is maybe overseas, or there's kind of like some overseas kind of connection. But this second card is kind of like representing that it's just time to kind of like take steed of where you're up to, and not to kind of like rush into anything. Some of the other cards within the Wand suit can kind of do represent that something's going to be happening fast, but here I can see that it's just going to be to take the time, etc., and just to take steed of what's happening. But I kind of get this overseas influence as well here. So, and then the third card is that we've got the Knight of Wands. So the knights represent your knight in shining armor. So this can represent kind of like a few different things. And again, interestingly, we've got the wands. So again, the wands represent kind of like action. So here we can see that the knight is charging ahead. So after this period of instability, and this period of kind of like just taking stead of where things are going to be kind of like moving quite fast in kind of like a positive direction, that we kind of like charging ahead. So again, it could be that this overseas connection could suddenly just kind of like transpire, and then you have to kind of like move quickly on it. But again, I can see that this is a positive card without a doubt. And again, we've got full sight of the characters of the horse and indeed of the knight. So that's very interesting. Also, that the knight can kind of like also represent kind of like a partner, or kind of like he's or they're kind of like the knight in shining armor that they kind of like sweeping off your feet. So again, it's just to be wary of that. And obviously it's just making sure that we always come back to this middle card, and we just kind of like grounding ourselves and just taking time to think. And again, it can be interesting that sometimes you are swept off your feet, but which is not necessarily a bad thing, but just remember to come back and just ground yourself, and definitely just be aware of this third person who seems to be out for causing trouble or mayhem or something. Please do like and subscribe to the channel, and if you want a more personalised reading, please do head over to my website, sunseekertarot.com, and again the link is just at the bottom of the comments. Thank you. So you've chosen pile number 3, so this is with the labradorite crystal, and with the sun coming through my window here, you can definitely see the how that crystal is absolutely illuminating in that sunlight. So I think if you've automatically chosen card number 3 because of the crystal, I think this is definitely a positive sign. Okay, so let's just look at these cards then. So taking the first one, so we have got the 8 of Pentacles. So Pentacles kind of like represents kind of like wealth, material things. So it looks as though that you're working towards something here. So maybe a promotion, or maybe you kind of like just moving or thinking of moving. And again, it's kind of like thinking of the future, that you're kind of like growing your wealth in one form or another. And obviously it's not going to happen overnight, it's going to take a little bit of time, etc. But certainly I see growth there, and again definitely kind of like with everyday materialistic things. So the second card here is the Knight of Pentacles. So we've got the Pentacles yet again, which as I've just said does represent kind of like materialistic things, wealth, etc. And what we've noticed here is that some of the knights can be charging ahead, etc. But this knight seems to be kind of like just taking stock of what they've done. They've maybe come through the battles in terms of that they've got the armor on. So maybe it's been hard work, and maybe sometimes it's just good to take stock of where you're up to. But again, this is definitely a positive card, and it's just kind of like saying sometimes you've just got to be that extra patient. But again, we can see that things are progressing. And then, goodness me, Page of Pentacles. So there's definitely something here about material wealth. That's just written all over the cards. And again, all I can see here is positivity. And the page often represents kind of like new beginnings as well. Or youthfulness, etc. And again, we can just see that the character here is on kind of like a green grass. It's beautiful. There's nice trees which are in full bloom. There's this little mountain here, which can also sometimes represent that there's maybe just 1 or 2 hurdles to cross, which isn't going to be a straightforward path. But again, we can see that all throughout these cards. But again, it's definitely saying that if there's been something that you've been thinking about, it's definitely going to prosper for you. And again, it's just to listen to the cards and just continue working hard. Sometimes it's good just to stop and take stock of where you're up to. But again, just to make sure that we're moving forward. And again, we can see that the direction is positive in terms of that it's moving into this Page of Pentacles, where it's kind of like new beginnings almost. That the grass is greener on the other side as it was. And again, the character here is showing the wealth, what they've been working for and continue to work for. So again, I definitely see this as all positive. Hope you've enjoyed that reading. And please do like the video and subscribe to the channel. And if you want a more personalised reading, please do head over to sunseekertarot.com and follow the link to book a direct reading. Okay, thank you.